see the comments. Get this together real quick for you. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Meat Freaks Barbecue. Good morning. Kobe Fatty, a.k.a. Elizabeth P. Finney. Good morning. Mr. Thomas. Good morning. As you can see, I got no other than the maestro, the man, as we call him, the king, Mr. Maurice D. Davis in the building. And as you can see, somebody is not here. Hey, Asai Aquil, a.k.a. Mama Aquil. Bazente Dave, good morning. I ain't going. Keep supporting us from Philly. We got nothing but love for you. Deborah O'Neill, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. As we can see. Terry Nixon, good morning, good morning, good morning. I know we here early. You know why we here early? Because it's me. I'm going to tell you why we here. We here early. You know why we here early? Oh, my bad. I had that. The phone still connected to the But good morning, beautiful people. Debbie Clark, good morning. Good morning. Deborah Luna, good morning. How everybody doing on this beautiful Thursday morning? I'm gonna try to get to this weather for y'all. With me having to do the weather today, I'm, it's gonna be beautiful. Carolyn Hendricks, good morning. Good morning. I see my good brother Tony Terry in the building coming in from Miami-Dade County, 305. Tasha Lynn, good morning. Hey, I ain't going. They set me up last night. I'm gonna tell you. I gotta tell Maurice about this. Boy, I'm gonna tell you. Today's weather is the high is 56, the low is 34. But they say right now I feel like it's 48. But I don't know what happened to me. I went to the Miss Biggs through her. It was man, y'all know I'm so off of it right now. But I gotta get my game together. What did I do that ain't right on here? Hold on, let me get this together. Let me do this right here. Am I behind on something? Hold on 1 second. Let me get this together. What it say? Michael Cooley, tap it in from Greenwood, Mississippi. What it do, good brother? Barb Harrington, good morning. Sir Gregory, good morning. Michelle Smith, a.k.a. Ann, good morning. RJ Cat, what it do? Yes, people getting fired today. Book of Revelations, good morning. My good brother Marcus Fielder then tapped in. Let me get this together real quick. I don't know what then went down on this end. Let me put this back together. Let me get that together over there. Hold on, let me do. Hold on, people. 1 second. I don't. Say that it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice get together. Now come on in. Okay, there we go. Now we got it together. Here we go. We had a couple. I've been here early too. Daryl Shumo, good morning. Trey Day 03, good morning. It's okay. Trey, they say down in Georgia, it's supposed to be 87. Man, wow. We get any more beautiful weather. Might be the end of Flint. Kenneth, good morning. Teresa, good morning. So we can get right. I mean, I was at the forum at the quorum last night and somebody slipped something in my cup. I ain't gonna say it on that. Yeah, they hit me with I thought it was a lemonade.
Oh, wow.
Purple Lily Hayes, good morning. Thanks for tapping in. Miss Karaja Smith, good morning. Yeah, they hit me with, I ain't gonna say no names, but that IB hit me with a lemonade. I think it was just some Thunderbird mixed with some grape Kool-Aid. I think she went all the way back and hit me with something like that. I'm still recovering.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean I ain't that was some stuff that can put a horse down. That I'm thinking it's just gonna be some lemonade, but that's what I get. But I'll say this: I was like 2 more cups from telling everybody business that was on 810, even my own. So I was glad, it's over with. I'm here, and we made it. I didn't even make it to the gym this morning, Maurice. This how
Oh
rough it
wow.
was. Yeah, I didn't, but I'm gonna hit it soon as we leave here, though. Y'all smash that like button as you coming in, beautiful people. Y'all know I made a complete fool of myself yesterday, and I'm hoping that I didn't mess it up for anybody because I almost was telling everybody business that I knew yesterday. Whatever she gave me was truth serum. Aubrey Collins, good morning. Nah, I wasn't, but you know what I do say it was a beautiful thing that was put on for Miss Beverly Biggs. I got to meet Jedediah Brown, and I got to meet Winters again, who I can completely can't stand now. I can't, I really can't. But here we is. Who would I rather do the show better than with the
Right.
maestro himself, the king? I know we've been sitting back to see how you feel about everything that's been going on. How did you feel about last week council?
Oh, it was irritating and sickening as usual, Mickey.
Oh, wow.
Them folks got to get it together.
But how do you think? How can we? I mean, because we come on every day talking about we saying what they can do. And I will say this: I got to give a shout out to Angie Mack, last because she came up and she spoke and she was saying we got to quit saying fires telling the folk they got to get along. And you know what I'm saying. I thought about that all night when she was talking about no, the folk do got to keep fighting, meaning Dennis, Tanya, JWC, Jonathan, because the way Flint is going, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
they gon' you can't just give the mayor everything he want. And I love what Miss Beverly Biggs said. Good morning, KP. Top of the morning to you, Georgia boy. She was like, nah, she would sit down with the mayor. She said she would have no problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sit down. But anybody when you in position, you know what I'm saying, in that type of position in politics, when you decide on things what's going on, you got to sit down with who in charge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. You have no choice.
So how you feel about? I mean, I see what but do you think we know a change got to come? Basically, come May. But you know what I'm saying. You
Yes.
you you got to get what I'm saying. That third war have to be seated.
Absolutely.
Will McCobb, good morning. Thanks again, Teresa. Just gifted 5 people with a membership. Purple Lily Hayes and KP got gifted with one. I'm with you though. But what can we do though, Maurice?
First of all, Mickey, you have to identify to solve a problem. You have to know it exists. And what they did, they cover up the actual problem or deny it. That's like a jealous person. You ain't gonna never find somebody that's jealous of you or what you have or your opportunities. They will never admit it, but in their heart, they jealous.
Mm,
Our biggest issue in Flint, Michigan, that Maurice see, is that we have a created situation with have and have nots.
mm,
And now you got the better folks over. Well, actually, you divided by not racism now, but it's by
right,
classism.
right,
The nobodies, and I use colorful language. Nobodies versus the ones think they got it together. That'd
right.
be Neely and the crew. Candace and them and Liddell and them think they got it together, and they so much better. So they speak for us in a way that Neely and them think fit. But the narrative don't help nobody on the bottom, and that's where the problem is. And we're in a world of trouble.
Mm,
We're in a world of trouble because they ain't articulate nothing for the regular people, the working people, the women out here working 2 and 3 jobs, struggling, and the kids raising themselves and dying. We're in trouble. We're in a world of trouble.
no, right, right. And I agree with you with that because I was looking at something this morning while I was trying to gather my thoughts and get myself back dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at, and a good thing they was talking about the police budget yesterday. But when I'm looking at it, I'm hearing like gang injunctions. Do people understand what, like, when they bring a gang task force, what's coming along with that? Do you know simple? You might have got 5 years that turned to 10. Like, I don't think people understand. Don't get me wrong, and I say it again. You do want the violence to stop, but where put these put these organizations to the test now? The NAACP, Black Lives Matter, your activists, put them to the test. Make them earn that title that they really activists with all the killing going on.
Them folks is just titles, Mickey. And as long as you got poverty, you're gonna have crime. Nobody, I don't care what task force they want to title that mess. They just making money off of it, like the drug department. If it wasn't for drugs, you don't need a narcotics department
Right.
or a cat squad or nothing else. You don't have crime. But poverty gonna breed crime, and that's another way to clean it up to make this city in the direction of gentrification that is in. We here now. We're in gentrification, 110%,
Mm.
and it's so eerie to me, and people don't understand because it's so subtle. The mayor bought into the narrative, do whatever it takes to keep his $125,000 to $150,000 plus perks a year job, and that's what we have. You got to be careful with who you put in them chairs. And now everybody finna see the brunt of the bad choices or decisions. We headed there now.
Yeah, it's really like it's over. As far as what you think, we there. Like you say, we there.
We there.
Smash that like button, family, as you coming in. I see 93 of y'all. Hit that like button. I mean, but because like I said, I was listening to several things, while at the forum, at the quorum. I was listening to Fires because Jedediah, he said he went up there because I didn't watch the budget hearing. But what I do understand, what we all can see now, none of these people are prepared because they never had to come prepared. Because the mayor already had his 5 votes. His 6 votes.
That's
You
right.
never had to come down there with no explanation. How is Judy the finance chair? And she said she ain't checked the opera budget. Alleged. I mean, she said it out of her mouth since September.
Neely is the finance chair
Wow.
of the council.
Wow.
Neely is the president of the council. I done sit in them chairs. I know what I'm talking about, Mickey. And that's why
Wow.
Mays oftentimes go irate. And people didn't understand why he was hooping and hollering. I just decided, only one I can change is me.
Right.
So it don't need me hollering, but every problem got a solution. And now, if we don't get it right this time, and when I say get it right, like right now, people don't even know it's people still out in the dark from consumers right now.
Right. Wow.
8 days, 80 hours later,
Right.
people on oxygen, no oxygen. So now the narrative, let them die. But people ain't gonna tell you that because why? Channel 12 and 5, media ain't putting it over the airwaves, so they letting them die. Poor folks have no voice.
Wow.
And it's a scary day to be like that in 2025. We're in trouble. With a mayor that don't care,
Wow.
he callous to the plight of poor folks, we're in big trouble.
Wow.
We're in big trouble. And I could drop tears now because it's cold out there. It's going to get cold again. And now I did a call last night because what I do, I got a house that's where the salon don't have power, but the house got power. Or one of the houses got power. And so we rode and rode and rode to find a consumer's truck. Mickey, ain't nobody repairing power for them poor folks on the north end.
I can believe
So
that.
what they doing, I'm going to have to contact Commissioner Lloyd, the RICO, because what they doing, they updating or doing maintenance work. This is not because of that power outage or the storm. On the north side, which they wanted to do the latter part of 2024. And now I don't know what they're doing. They're upgrading for the next purpose of the land on the north side. And right up under people's nose. And they finna tax you right out of here and then raise consumers.
Wow.
So, it's really challenging to be in this predicament because we buy the narrative of what people gonna do and not what they done.
Right.
It take a hell of a person to stand up and lead this here. The dysfunction is needing them, but he sold it off as, Jerry Winfrey Carter and all of them,
Right.
Dennis and them. That mayor is the dysfunction of this city. Him and his whole entourage.
Wow. You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad. You know what I'm saying? That you saying that people can start to see what it really is.
I hope they do because people finna die. And I ain't never seen this in all of my years of living here all my life. This kind of callousness toward the poor.
Right.
And I mean, from the bottom, you seen what they did to the elderly, which is the senior citizens, all the way down to the babies with the RX kids and justifying.
Yeah, but you know what? But we get caught. I know. See, you know, what you bringing up RX kids is gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I already got probably about a 12-hour show finna be done.
Okay.
But RX kids, that was another study.
That is a study.
Yeah, and I didn't understand if they already got that money. Why did they have to give them some more money like that? When from what I'm hearing, now I'm not for sure because I'm not in that field, but I was hearing people say they already have them type of services. So why would you go and then, like you say, you're only gonna get a girl that $500 just for 1 year?
Well, it's worse than that. Once the public don't know, like I heard you say yesterday, Mickey, the meeting before the meetings, and then there's a meeting before that meeting,
Right.
and then there's a meeting before that meeting. When they come up with these narratives to get that money, that $625 million that came in here, and the sad event of it, people still waiting on something that ain't gonna never happen. But that was dealing with RX kids. They took that money and funneled it over there to the RX kids, funneled it over there to U of M for the study of the new wing, just like the new juvenile home. Your whole demise is plotted. It ain't just in Flint. People need to know there's too many people on the planet. And now they moving forward, even with it was so expedited to have these COVID shots. And now they see all how it just destroyed people. And now doctors said it was bad. No doctor ever said, not a person. If it is, type it in the comment section.
Yeah.
That water was poison.
Right.
I ain't heard no doctor say, look, this was directly associated to water. And we're in ground zero where that catastrophe happened. Not one doctor. So you have to prove your damages. And it was about 18, 19 people that got money, and the rest ain't got a dime. And ain't gonna get a dime. Keep the tape and see if I'm lying. It's so sad.
No, it's terrible to the it's terrible, but we have people who will sell us out for the buck because that's what it's all about. Good
Correct.
morning to the people I didn't say morning to. We jump right into it. Good morning, everybody. Hit the like button as you coming in. But see, we have people who look just like us. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's just regular folks, people in these cities that you elect into these councils and to these different boards. It's like the representation, you're not getting your bang for your buck. Like you can't honestly say the mayor, he worked to the residents. Now to the people that's benefiting, he worked every bang, he worked every dollar.
Absolutely.
But far as to the residents, how, you know, with just like I was just reading the comment where it was saying gentrification is they finna push the people out. They are.
They doing it. They done done it.
Yeah, you know, and it's messed up. But when you electing people who that's not for you, that's crazy work right there. Like how do you vote people in on council? Now I can understand president, senator, state, that's bigger. But as far as your local politics, how do they vote these people in who don't even want to do nothing for them? And for the ones you do see something, they act like that's progress.
Well, they could talk louder with money, and they use that money against you. Money is power, and also people. But knowledge is the main power, because the Bible says you're going to be destroyed for the lack of accurate knowledge. And now we're in a time where you have to have accurate knowledge, not opinion. Everybody got an opinion. But if we don't wake up like today, you putting broke folks in them chairs. And when somebody with real money tease you with $1 or the crumbs, I call it, they're going to take it. And that's what's happening. Everything goes out the window because they on survival strategy. They're trying to get something that they can benefit from, not the resident.
Right.
And that's so sad, Mickey.
Yeah, that's cold-blooded right there. Okay, Taz Montana 313 with the $4.99 super chat. I mean, but But when you see, now, when it come back down, now you dealing with morals. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with people. Everybody want the dollar. Like,
Yes,
I don't care who I gotta sell out, as long as I'm doing good.
that's right.
So how can we combat that? How can we get people who really want to get in there? Because every time you get somebody, we think this gonna be a fight, a champion for the people. They get right in and be a champion for themselves and who benefiting them.
Well, governance is an advanced seat. It's not a beginner seat. And that's why you have to have classes. Mays was in it all his life, and oftentimes I hear people talk about Mays, 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 Mays. But the political science back in the 70s don't work in 2025.
Hmm.
This is a whole new day and era. And
Right,
then technology replaces people. So
right,
back in the 70s, you could go to the shop and get a job after 18
right.
and go and make a gainful employment. But now kids graduate, they ain't going nowhere but back home. They ain't
Wow.
getting no employment nowhere. So you got to
Right.
have all of them pieces to this puzzle, and somebody know how to manipulate these puzzles. But then when you include money, come corruption.
Mm.
And how do you know? You go by what somebody done, not what they say they gonna do. Check track records. It can't be the most popular and articulate person, or even with an old college degree that's
Mm.
outdated. Every college degree now, after I say year 2020, is about outdated
Right,
because technology is rampant.
right.
Look at Elon Musk and Tesla and the rockets and all this other stuff they got
It's a question from you from Sir Gregory.
going.
He said, "Ask if there was a plan for the city of Flint, a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan."
Their plan was actually a 20-year plan, but they do it in 5-year increments. And the it was implemented about 15 years ago. And that's why I say gentrification is here. I was in the very first meeting with Renetta Speeds. It started with Land Bank, and it started with the county of
Mm.
gentrifying people out of here. I said it last time on your show, Mickey.
Right.
When they put these neighborhood associations together, they had came up with a concocted plan that they could take up to 5 to about 8, 9 people to speak for a whole demographic of a ward. And the other people in the community knew nothing about it. They would have public forums, public hearings, and they would move millions of dollars within a neighborhood, like over in Civic Park, for example. It was a historic district with uncapped or untouched money. And we went through Land Bank. They made it sound so beneficial to go to the state, SHPO, and grab $2.5 million in Civic Park, had a crooked pastor
Mm.
up the street, Pastor Sherman McCatherine,
Mm.
Joy Tabernacle Church. Because, see, if you ain't got nerves to say names, get back on the porch. This is for people that want to really help poor folks and mean it. And I would implore any of them to challenge Maurice Davis, and I know you got a number that they could call. Please call me right now on air.
No,
I applaud
no,
you.
Winter's got the phone with her.
Okay, because
Yeah, yeah,
it's time out for playing because you're going to have to give an answer to God. There's a
yeah.
lot of wolves floating around here in sheep's clothing.
Oh,
And
for
I'm
sure.
so frustrated. They done let a lot of people die. Civic Park was all, when I came there, the teacher union was next door, Barkin Bakery. Civic Park was thriving, had grocery store. The whole horseshoe was a whole infiltrated, beautiful neighborhood. They gentrified after they bought people off 475 and they came north. It was beautiful in the beginning. And matter of fact, the deeds of my building say do not sell to blacks. You wasn't allowed over in Civic Park.
Mm.
But that's a history story. But fast forward, people wanted a nice place to live. So after the 475 project came about with the expressway, people moved over there on the northwest side of town. Beautiful. After a period of time, it started getting, well, first of all, they never articulated that Civic Park was a historic district,
Right.
but it is historic. But with historic districts, Mickey, it comes with money. That's why you see that big, beautiful, I call it a colossal building bursting. That's a historic property.
Mm.
It's a district within itself. It comes with what they call brownfield money.
Mm.
Civic Park got brownfield millions of dollars,
Mm.
not a few dollars, millions of dollars. And everywhere you see these historic, national historic signs, right in front of the beauty shop is one. They wanted it back. So they gentrified all of them folks out. How? Taxes. Like now, most of the people on the north end is elderly grown folks and their houses is paid for
Mm.
on fixed income.
Right.
All they had to do, they brought in Sherman McCaffrey, Pastor Sherman, the Joy Tabernacle. The study was done in Civic
Mm.
Park. After we went to the state, brought back 2.5 million. They claimed they was gonna beautify the neighborhood, which they only used it before Neely's time.
Mm.
Even Weaver might have been down there. It might have been before Weaver.
Mm.
They came and brought that title. I never heard the word blight. I had to
Mm.
ask them, what do blight mean? Blight and demolition. And they
Right.
said then they were gonna redevelop Civic Park.
Mm.
They didn't do that piece. Only thing they do, all of the narrative of the city of Flint moving forward is blight and demolition. How in the world you gonna keep eliminating? But it was a 20-year plan,
Mm.
and now they got about 5 years before we all be out of there. It's
Yeah,
scary.
yeah, because I seen something. I want to say was it back in 21 when they were showing how it was gonna look far as Devil's Lake and
Yes,
how that area is gonna look. Like was gonna be mansions over there. You seen boats. That's why I'm like yesterday. I was in me and my cousin. We was riding in the neighborhood yesterday. I couldn't believe how much the hood done changed just in 5 years. Really 10 years. I'm talking about riding up and down. It was like so many houses was gone. It was like unbelievable. And riding over there, that's what I'm saying. It was like the third ward is like, listen, man, it needs some love over there.
that's right. But we're in a little trouble, man. We're in a whole lot of trouble. But right now, and another piece to that, technology came on board. They didn't know how advanced technology and how quick, rapidly catch on. But like I said, it replaces people. So now your services, even in the music business, is no longer needed. So now they have no use for people, and that's why the switches and all these other type of Dracos and all these guns out
Right,
in the neighborhood to get them out of here
right,
and keep jobs. By the way, crime is money.
right. Good morning, everybody that's tapping in. Good morning, Diva Cam 13, Lanita Murray, Marcia A. Tarver Maxter. Good morning. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like it was fires with the police. Like some of the stuff. How do you be able to come down and don't have your stuff together? But this ain't. I'm not just gonna put this on the chief. It's plenty of people that's in that administration that have came down there and didn't have their stuff together. Like the worst of them all is the CFO. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just like what are we supposed to do, Miss Eunice? Good morning. Like what? I mean, you got to vote these people out, but I feel like the residents got to get up and vote, and not just a handful that's voting.
The study been done. They ain't gonna be able to vote them out.
Wow.
And I know I'm making strong statements this morning, but truth will help a lot of people. Now, everything is always a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
Okay.
But what happens is this. Neely doing exactly what he's supposed to do, but they studied now the demographic when they redistrict the zones. They know
Okay.
how many residents over there.
Right.
They
right,
know
right,
who to vote for what and how they voted.
right.
That's why we in the dark on the north end. But downtown and everywhere else where it's still residential, according to the master plan, they got power right now. And guess what? A lot of them is black. So it ain't no black and white. No, this classism. And that's why I hate when people talk that Trump mess. This is classism. You back in the slave, everybody going back to Africa on a boat. Man, you better get real. I don't know about Africa, but I do know what's happening to me right here on the north end of Flint, Michigan. And it's not right.
No, I agree with you with that, Miss D. Good morning, Primo. Good morning, Sweet Cupcake on break. Good morning, and everybody send morning to you, Mr.
Oh,
David.
good morning to everyone. I'm sorry. Good
No,
morning, y'all.
no. See what it is to me is like this. What I hate, and I feel like both parties play like this, but the Democratic Party play the most on this play on fires on this. Trump fires Al Sharpton and them. That's why I don't listen to Al Sharpton and them. They all was hanging with Trump at one time. They all love Trump. When did Trump become racist?
Let's take that, Mickey. Let's take that since you want.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give these folks. It ain't privilege, so why not
yeah.
tell them?
Go on and give it to
You
him.
got your Al Sharptons that come to Flint.
Yep.
Notice I said not Detroit.
Right.
Come to Flint. Martin Luther King Jr.'s. You got Jesse Jackson. They wheeled him up here.
Mm-hmm.
We go in the back rooms.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying. We go in the back rooms. The narrative been spent to do and get them to obey. It's all about moving money. At the where it's hurting the poor folks.
Right.
Everything we talk about in them back rooms
Right.
is only to benefit somebody's wallet. And
Right.
people think it's a narrative of NAACP. That's why they dinners is never appropriate for a pro person to go. And they place it that the price is so steep you can't afford to go. You know, HBCUs that floats around. I ain't gonna start no uproar on your deal here, but like you say, Trump and them, all of them is in cahoots because them rich folks,
Right.
Obama and them.
And this, like I said, the gift to keep giving the master. He said, question is not when he became racist, when did his racism get intolerable?
When he became president.
Right.
And you know what they don't understand? I ain't none of that mess. I'm in the kingdom of God. Because that's too corrupt right now. But when you don't obey status quo, which is clear, Trump don't care about nothing. He filthy rich.
Yeah, it's about money.
No, not for him.
Okay.
But he don't obey status quo,
Gotcha.
which is the Democrats.
Gotcha.
They want money. You moving billions and trillions of dollars.
Right.
But this ignorant man do what he want to do. That's what I like about him. Because he's so arrogant and ignorant, he will help you. I tell you what, if he don't help you, if God don't step in, keep this podcast. Keep this podcast. And that's all I'm going to say because it's so eerie right now.
Yeah.
I know they letting people die.
No, I agree with you how you see certain things is going on but look look the stuff that they feed us. We sitting up here talking about a grocery store, right? That's supposed to be open.
Yes.
The what's the name of it right
North
there?
Flint Reinvestment?
Yeah, the North Flint Reinvestment, right. Costco's then popped open.
Yep.
But I'm not knocking his grocery store coming in, but is it going to be the healthy food to feed the people, or is it going to still be reprocessed food, junk food, everything that's hurting the inner city right now? As far as we got kids, obesity, we got asthma more going on. You seeing diabetics. I mean, from the young kids.
Okay, Mickey, I got a question.
Oh, come on.
How can he bring a grocery store when they done did the market study or the feasibility studies to where they know they shrunk the north end?
Yeah.
Myers didn't survive it.
Right.
Hamleys didn't survive it. Kroger's didn't survive it.
Right.
And they shrinking it. And even on the corner liquor stores is barely hanging on.
Right.
The
right.
beer and wine
right.
store is
right.
barely
right.
hanging on.
Right. Right.
And you're going to build this multi-$25, $30 million store. It's for future land use. That's the key word, future, not right now.
Right.
If not, how Larry Holly going to penitentiary and then Flynn not? That's all I'm going to say. And then the governor and all of them helped them where at the same site, Larry Holly went to penitentiary.
Wow.
But now I'm sure they spent more than Larry Holly by a whole lot of money. And they walk, but that's where that Trump and them scaring them folks. Because when you come in here with this forensic audit, you're going to see ain't nobody going to be able to hide.
No, I mean, and this what I do. I feel like, won't they just do an audit? Like, I do believe it. Listen, I know this going to tick off a lot of people, but it's just the truth. Bring them nonprofits back and do an audit. Let's see where that money went to. Christina Mosley, good morning. Good morning to everybody in the chat. I mean, let's really see because as you said, you had a mother down there pleading with saying, as far as the opioid crisis, as far as
Correct.
Getting help. Like, where's the help that she been asking for her children? You know what I'm saying? And so it's like when you seeing all of this, it's like y'all saying we put the money here, but the people, the residents, not feeling it. The help that you gave to them. I ain't gonna say everyone, but a lot of these. A lot of them nonprofits that came up here got money. I don't really see people who got help from the city. Hattie Burns, good morning. Mrs. You Know Who, good morning.
All of them nonprofits is for profit. All nonprofits is for profits for whoever the CEO of the nonprofit. I know it get a little twisted, but opioids mean millions of dollars. First of all, they go out and buy vehicles, they buy cars, they buy this, they buy that. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
They just fluff it up and fatten it up for, and then they got to make sure they have administration fees inside of their nonprofit. That's why I say a nonprofit is a for-profit.
Right.
And Mr. Kevin Tate said, "Was where was he? He asked me about being in the back room with Neely, and I want to
Okay.
answer that so truthfully. And
Let me find
but
it.
the short,
Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Let me find it because it's up to
I love when people ask, you know,
Said okay. It's okay. He said I did my reach going to the back room with Neely after he switched up on Weaver.
well, first of all, Kevin, I never switched on now one. When I find out stuff, it's just in me. God gifted me and blessed me to be able to survive in a impoverished community, and I've been here. The key is I live in Flint. I don't care where I go. I live in Flint. I was raised on the north end. Always been poor. It's hard to see. Like James Smith, a blues singer buddy of mine, he just died this week. Two or three drummers and died, and I'm talking about people that's tied to me. When people is hurting like this, it ain't. You do everything in your power to help them because they count on you to help them. And even, you know, Daryl Buchanan's mother, I know everybody over here. I done been here all my life. Now, I said that to say this. When Weaver was doing right, I said she was doing right. When Weaver lost, she's not the mayor, Neely the mayor. They call it, if you don't run, don't nobody, Beverly Biggs, nobody run for council unless you're going to be a pancake. Because you ain't going to vote one way with a clique. You're going to vote for whatever them people need in your ward. And every ward is different. And you got to have sense enough to compromise. Okay, if y'all, let's say Mr. Dennis Pfeiffer want their houses is good. They don't need tops, but they might want a black top, which they did when I was on council, me and Mays and them. They black top Miller Road. I was on council. But now, Mr. Pfeiffer, out of my compromise, and I'm not in a clique, I hate Mr. Pfeiffer. We need to move these stipulations from Habitat that when money come, that nobody have a stipulation. If they need a roof, not according to their income, all they do is see their council person to get the money to get them a roof. Because your eyes can see physically that roof need to be done. That's what had to happen. So I say that to say this. Neely, I did not vote for. I voted for Weaver. Weaver and them got mad because I don't team up. I don't do cliques. That's why they came at me to get me off council. It would be a different council because instead of Liddell, y'all be talking about what Maurice done on council. Maurice would have removed all stipulation. And I done been there. Check the track record. Me and Mays just bump heads because ain't no council person in history voted for Mays or agreed and seconded Mays votes more than Maurice Davis. I was his puppet. That's what they call me. Because if you're trying to help poor folks, I'm in there. But I ain't the one, the narrative that got spent. I'm worse than Trump because I'm hell bent on I got to help folks according to my God's words. I'm blessed to be a blessing. I'm sorry, and that's what I am. My whole days is to help somebody. Else it's in vain. And that's what's going on, Kevin. I didn't flip flop. No, but Neely ain't worth his salt because we right on the bump. Last week before last, I was on here, and I met at the House of the Mays Event Center, grand opening. I went down there to holler at Gardell because me and him, I got frustrated with Gardell. Gardell, what the world is you doing, man? These seniors count on you. Go over there where you belong with Miss Beverly Lewis now. Up walks Neely. Hey man, why you always beat me up on these podcasts? I said it. And what happens is this. He don't understand. He think he got money coming in, everybody should have money. Neely, it don't work like that. People delinquent on their taxes, they're gonna lose their house. I said, man, you think people voted for you for this kind of response? Is it my fault? They ain't got no money? I had to walk away. And we went to cussing and arguing. I give him credit. He didn't never call security to get him out of here, none of that. I walked away from him. And we was in there going at it, toe to toe, with his administration. But some people can't handle power. They don't need it. They can't handle power.
And then you have to we have to recognize this too. If Weaver lost, you know what I'm saying? She lost. Like I'm not finna have no blind loyalty. Now, and don't get it twisted. I'm not with with Mayor Neely and none of that. But when he have lost, that's why right now why we the Democratic Party so messed up right now. Kamala Harris lost. People still say what you don't supposed to do. Go deal with the person who in charge right now.
Right.
So many people done so many things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna just get caught up because people who will be thinking, in some minds, people be thinking like, well, and I hate to bring up stuff, but I'm not too happy with that camp over there. Not gonna sit up here and lie, act like that camp did everything right. Some things they did do right. Some things they
Well,
didn't do right. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna sit up here and act like they was like. I'm just saying from my little experience with it.
I'm
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. So I'm not gonna sit up here like they was the second coming of Jesus over there. They like everybody else. Everybody got a little dirty side to them, but you know what I'm saying?
and when that money came,
Right,
then it was the water crisis money
right,
for the water repair.
right,
I was so pissed, but I know this is the compromise I had to do.
right,
Mays and everybody wanted the service line replacement.
right,
To me,
right.
I wouldn't have did none of what they done
Okay,
because I knew the plan.
right,
Mays and them don't know I own property. I'm really a businessman. That's why I tell y'all point blank. Like,
right.
Kevin, this is going to be the last time. I ain't going back and forth, but I want to answer this because I want to be able to thumb. I was just saying, Kevin, didn't you say in a meeting during the election that you said if didn't win, you was out? You doggone right. I am out. But when people start dying and crying, that's why I'm sitting here. I'm not running for a dog catcher. How many times I got to say that? I'm good. But when people die, it ain't a prize to win nothing on that city council. If you don't know what you're doing, because people lose not only property, but even their life. Now back to what we were saying. Weaver and them, when they did that service line replacement, Mickey.
Right, I'm listening.
How in the hell you gonna pay Akon, them, Lane, and all of these Goyette, all of these millions and millions of dollars to fix something that you can't drink at the end of the day? I couldn't understand that. So to me, I said, wait a minute. Instead of doing that, all these vacant properties that the county got, land bank,
Right,
why they don't just take these, because I knew they was shrinking the north end.
right,
Instead of letting people die and drink all this, what Woods and all I'm talking about, cancerous water,
right,
let them get a property like Mays. We was trying to buy houses or pull houses from the county, put them in the city and give them back to people, and
right,
let them zero them out and let them start all over to help folks.
right,
Then fix the water lines like you did in Carriagetown. Then you
Right.
have safe water.
right. I'm right. That's what I'm saying. But see, what it is, you could just see, like I say, man, whoever it is, the next mayor of Flint, gotta be people that's not from neither side, man. That's not connected to neither camps,
Absolutely.
man. You can't have that. And then the people that's coming in gotta be for the new council people. That's why I say vote for Miss Beverly Biggs Levy in, because long as you keep getting this side versus this side, man, Flint ain't gonna never get fixed. Flint gonna get fixed, but the people that's here
They gonna kill them.
gonna be
I'm
out.
saying some ignorant words this morning.
Right.
This is some crazy ignorant
Yeah.
words I'm saying. I see with my eyes.
Yeah.
People right now got oxygen and on these heart monitors and all this stuff
Yeah.
with no power for 50 and 80 hours. It ain't no emergency. Ain't no consumers trucks on the north end. They have no voice.
Right.
So you got classism now. You got Negroes against Negroes.
Oh yeah.
And that's what the problem is.
And you just look at the school board. Just look at, about the money, you know what I'm saying, how that thing went. Man, I've been looking at Facebook, man, this morning. I was looking at how they talking about the money. Now you seeing people. It was unbelievable how this thing going down. But this ain't nothing new. When you putting up people on these boards, and it's always seemed like it's more the majority be with the people that's not here to help the people. I'm just being honest with you from what I done seen. That school board has been a disaster, but the school system, but it ain't like it just started. But to me, it seemed like they just been putting people that's not been doing what's best for the students.
You asked some good questions, Mickey. It make me itch. I just, because it's so frustrating. People don't, first thing, to be on anything beneficial to anybody, your own house, you're going to have to be able to sacrifice your own life.
Right.
Or stay up on that porch. I can't ask for permission. I have to figure it out as I go.
Right.
Like sitting here, if Mr. Kevin Tay asked me something, I'm answering. I just don't want to get distracted.
Gotcha.
I can answer anybody.
Yeah.
But what it is this.
Yeah.
My Reese is so crazy and hell bent on doing something. If I start anything, I ain't got sense enough to quit. So to get out here, I had to learn. Mays was a good teacher.
Right.
I was wondering, this nigga, what is he doing? Voting and I'm just wasting. I'm ready to go. But
Right.
it made sense after 2 or 3 years on council. I started
Right.
understanding. But the same thing, Miss Beverly Biggs. I done talked to Miss Biggs.
Right.
She's gonna be excellent. I done talked to Rose Mount, but she tied up. She would be excellent. But when you start getting your own agenda in your own mind,
Right.
you're a hindrance, and that's what's going on.
Right.
Because it ain't about the residents or the people. It's
No.
about my opinion.
And then it's the people behind the scene that's pulling the strings for these people they want in these seats. They don't want to see now. When you go to talking like that, then you're gonna go to ticking off a lot of people. Because when you go to seeing these people that they putting into these seats are really puppets. Let's just be honest. That's able to come do a job. Like I ain't gonna knock a person because they coming and get their money, but these are people. These are a lot of puppets that being put in these seats. All you gotta do is go watch all around what's going on. You listen. If you come in there, and I'm being honest, we already know who with who. We can sit up there and say, okay, this person with this camp over here, and this person with this camp over here. Not this. That's how crazy that is. Not this person is for their residents, but this person, this a team player over here. I be feeling like we at the NFL draft sometime. Both sides is drafting people who they gonna get to push their agenda or they trying to get back in. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, because it's like, how can we? This like the ambassadors. That is like a kick in the face to the council members, and it's like people don't even care. I'm getting right on that one, Kevin Ted. That's what I'm saying, the ambassadors. But you have to look at the people who went up there and did, and it's no disrespect. Oh yeah, no, he was. I heard about that, Angie. He got a lawsuit that's going on. But see why Doug keep able to tie them up because they keep playing games. Seem like they don't really know how to will and deal. If that's true, allegedly, it's got to throw that allegedly out there. But as long as they keep playing games, because it's listen, and I get it. People keep missing this. That's why I know why you would do a good job if you got on there. The fight that's at hand. It's been time out. You got to get some negotiators up on there who know how to compromise to help all wars. See, we getting caught up as just first, second. No, everybody being affected by every one of them votes up there or lack thereof.
Every team have a captain, Mickey.
Right.
I can equate it to a band. You got a leader.
Mm-hmm.
Every football, basketball got a captain. Then you have the one that know how to shoot the main points.
Right.
Kobe Bryant and
the shooting guard. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Now, what happened is this. Miss Biggs is teachable. May's laying in the grave, rest his soul.
Yes, sir.
If you ain't got the experience, like I heard Tanya Burns say not too long ago, how the council rules, they don't know what they talk. How? No, wait a minute, woman. Wait a minute. How, Mickey, now you've been more up on it than me. How did they change these council rules? Because according to law, they couldn't have never changed. I don't care what raggedy attorney they had down there. They shouldn't have changed them. Ain't no way without why. How many public hearings did they have to change them?
From what I heard, none.
They ain't changed.
But the people going along with it, though.
So that means Jerry dropped the ball. Because she the senior council person. She should know you got to have a public hearing to have any law change. Even to do certain things on council, you got to have a public hearing.
Right.
You just can't just willy-nilly, just because Neely or Liddell Lewis say something. That ain't law.
Oh, no, they been bullied. I mean, that's why we in the back.
Locally. And then you have a state of Michigan.
Right.
You got to understand this difference.
Right.
If nothing, you got the county.
Right.
The RICO and them, they could step in. The county is over the jurisdiction of a Flint police. You got the sheriff department. Then you got the feds.
Right. Okay, Woodrow said council rules reviewed once a year. Like I said, a lot of this stuff been really new. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never seen nothing like this.
That mean nothing. I was the chair of the rules committee. That mean nothing. We look at them, but to change the rules, we had to have a public hearing.
Right. Like I said, some of the stuff they pushed through, I can't believe some of the stuff that went down. But you know what? A lot of us get jammed up, and I'm going to include myself because we don't know. We don't be knowing the rules. People don't be knowing the
Correct.
rules, and we going
Correct.
along with a lot of this madness that's going on right now. That's the sad part. We going along with a lot of the madness going on. So I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, we going through. You know. Oh, okay. Oh, hold up. It was public hearing last year. No one showed up. Last April. You know, it was a public hearing in April last year. Remember, no one showed.
See, if you don't accurately know what's going on, actively understand
Right.
what it is, that means nothing. A public hearing about what? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It have to be absolute of this here germane topic.
Right.
Remember, you're not germane. Maurice, you're not Kate Fields, and you got to stay germane. It's that one subject matter. Mitchell, you're not germane. This is not the conversation when we're having a public hearing.
Well, remember this though. Remember they've been down. Remember Liddell said you can round down. When you needed 6 votes, they did 5. So they passed a lot of stuff through. When I never heard of that 5 can be.
That's all against the law, man. If that was the case, Mickey.
I'm listening.
Every board, you got the board of education, you got the board Hurley, you got the board over there at the chamber, you got all these boards, you got the commissioner, Lord and them. They all operate the same. You can't have a rule board in a public governance. You don't do that. But when you have people wet behind the ear, you do that. And that's what's happening.
Well, I see Miss Tia Harris said, Mr. Maurice, she said she believed they did have a public hearing because she spoke against some of the rules that she didn't agree with.
And they probably, that's Miss Tia probably absolutely right for them to say,
But they passed stuff with a rule of 5, though. I never seen nothing like that.
Control every ounce of that council body.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And everybody else, and like I heard you and Winter say time and time again, put it on the floor. Put it on the floor, whether you have the votes or not. Make it public record. So the public could be aware of the foolishness that y'all trying to pull. So when election come, they know not to fool with you.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, because I was getting a lot of emails from FIRE. I forgot what the acronym stand for from the what's the other people name? Ah dang. What's the other group name that be on that? ACLU. I was getting them emails from the 810 fires like saying we need to get a lawyer, go ahead and sue. My only thing was, like, reason I didn't mess with it, I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I don't, much as I be saying pay the producer, certain things that I don't want to mess with, because I don't have time going up into them courtrooms, man, when you looking at things like with the FBI, friends, brothers, and in-laws. Because it ain't about how smart you is. Sometimes it's about who you know. So you can get up in there, man, you might don't know who these people cool with, or, with these, you don't know. What I done learned, it's all about who you know.
It is about who you know.
So you can get up in there, and sometimes your stuff can get pushed through, and they know they dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who got time to be sitting up there wasting like that? They know a lot of these people out here don't got no money, man, to go get no lawyer or nothing like that. Got $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000, $5,000 to go spend. The mayor know that. Why you think he forever always trying to tie somebody up in court?
Well, knowledge is power, because what happens is a forensic audit don't care. And sometimes you have to appeal a higher court.
Right.
You don't have to go there.
Right.
But
who got the money for it?
It's no money.
Oh, it ain't? Okay.
No, it's no money. Because what happened is this. It's a stacked deck in Michigan. Another thing you have to know from sitting there.
Okay.
The deck is stacked from the governor on down. Just like now, Trump finna make it, the next election, 2025, it's going to be a one-day election. You're going to show your license ID or you ain't going to vote. It's going to change. Because why? Coming from the feds down. But first you had Biden, you had this one, that, and to make it lawless that the illegal immigrants replaced black folks to vote. That's why they didn't need you. But now, guess what? They need you again. They're going to need more than black on the North musclers than he think he going to need them to win.
Oh, for sure.
Because see, if a Republican run against him, mayor, whatever, he's standing a good chance to lose because Trump is powerful right now.
Oh, for sure.
So if a Republican run, they're going to upstate nearly easy. Because you done divide the black community up against you.
Oh,
and that's it's going to bite
that.
you. So, it's accurate knowledge how to play, like y'all oftentimes say, chess and checkers.
Right.
Neely know Maurice know how to play. I'm a businessman. I know how to win. But people, you can't take it from me. But I'm gonna kick you to knowledge, but I ain't gonna make you listen.
Well, you know what? From what you're saying, that what it was. It seemed like the Democrats was just living off the fat of the land. They thought it was gonna keep. They was gonna keep able to do what they do.
That's why they so mad they lost, because Gretchen Whitmire is a comfort. Because why? Chris Martin controlled Governor Gretchen Whitmire, Dana Nessel, Garland Gilchrist, and a host of other, with Jesse Jackson and all Al Sharpton and all of them. Why? We meet at his church. See, it's different when you done been there. And that's why I don't play with them folks. Because you hurt everybody.
Right.
I don't, and you pass your little, what you call the main Democratic Party, I-75 corridor. The National Democrat. It's all about the money that's streaming in.
Facts.
Like the marijuana. Everybody had a marijuana card. Where yours at now? And you ended up, nobody qualified, poor and black, could not buy a dispensary.
Business. Yeah, couldn't get a bit.
Provision center.
Yeah, put them out. I mean, they basically, you knew the big money people was going to be able to come in and take over. But when
Gretchen Whitmire was in there, Maurice had to shut up and let it happen. Because I knew the game.
Right.
But I had to shut up. I know the game. I'm not here to just politic and blow smoke, as may say.
But they act like they couldn't see from Prohibition when they remember alcohol was outlawed one time.
Look how we living.
But it's legal now, but guess who controlling it? You got to get a state's license.
Gambling and everything else.
Right. Yeah, listen, everything they said that was outlawed, they made it, but now, man, it's such a, this game is so terrible, man. It's unreal. It's unreal, but like you say, Chris Martin, the pastor, he tied in with the governor, the attorney general.
What church did Liddell go to?
His.
Chris Martin.
Right.
Why was Chris Martin over at the the Mays Center after Beverly Lewis and them got evicted? He was over there.
Very interesting.
The game, Mickey, it's so deplorable how they do poor folks. I'm sorry, I'm 100%. If I'm on your team, I'm on your team, win or lose. Like Miss Beverly Lewis and them, they know I'm on their team. I ain't got to be out front.
Right.
No,
right.
I'm going to support you. Miss Beverly Biggs, I'm supporting you. I don't do big eyes. I only got one God. I don't need nobody's money.
Nah, I'm with you on that right there too. Like from what I seen, like this click thing, man. I'm gonna just tell y'all, it ain't no click. People just want you to do stuff they want done. They still want to be able to say we got control.
And
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like how I see this game. This game's so wicked, and I know exactly what you were saying. This was crazy. People, it's so easy to say. With this thing, oh, Maurice this and that, Maurice this and that. Come on now. When Weaver was in, she was in there. You know what I'm saying? You voted with him. They acting like they forgot that Eric Mays had fell out with that administration at one time, even though they got back cool. People fall out.
I don't say Weaver turned her back on me, hard as me and Beverly pushed for her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People act like they forgot what was going on.
Gil and them.
Yeah, they act like they forgot what was going on. But I get it. People, they got people that's going to ride with them through good and bad. But you have to call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen a lot of people voted for Liddell. See, they don't want to say that. See, a lot of these same people that's mad at Liddell, guess who was supporting Liddell? Now, make that make sense. Yeah. They could be mad at you because you were saying, look, we need to talk to Trump, but Trump back in. But yet y'all wanted Liddell up in there, and what you get? What did y'all get? I mean, I watched all of it. Like I tell them, go back to the Tom Sumner show when y'all was on there.
She literally sitting in my chair. The worstest one of everybody is sitting in literally my chair.
Right, and then they think it's going to be easy getting her out. Because the deck is stacked. That's
God
why.
Ain't nothing to play with, boy.
Right.
Don't play with God.
Yeah, the deck is stacked. What about when Sis Audrey went over there and said, like, listen, Liddell ain't been here for this long. But I got in trouble for saying something about, and I never disrespect no woman when I said, I always say, the beautiful Inez Brown. She could be a beautiful, like I said, I done seen her in the grocery store. Always speak. But the politics that she did, you said that she did, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, why Liddell, you know what I'm saying? When it was put out there, now I want to be, oh, Liddell ain't been there. They not finna do nothing about it now. Y'all let that slide. Should have been on it on the jump street.
The next mistake gonna cost a lot of people their life. That's all I can say.
No, it already cost it. It
Correct.
already with these moves right here. With putting Liddell in that seat,
Correct.
people was, when they did this. That's even when, like I said, I give Winters her credit when she said Candace was finna been on there. Y'all don't think Dennis didn't have a many nights he like then turned over in his bed like, oh my God.
Yep.
Y'all don't think that? We all done things where we might can go back and look at. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't get caught up in it. Like, don't get me wrong. I done have my bunch of with this politics stuff seeing it. But what I have learned is this ain't no friends.
No.
This ain't nothing but a bunch of backstabbing. What can you get? You know what I'm saying? If you don't do nothing for them, people will literally try to tear you down. And that's crazy. I sat up here and watched people still cool with the people who tried to tear us down.
And still trying to.
Yeah, and then and it'd be crazy, like, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You right, Woodrow, allegedly. People would be sitting up here playing games and it'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was going on. Are you serious? See, they'll turn a blind eye to people that they like that what they done to you. They'll turn the blind eye, but I'm going to call it out on both sides. You know what I'm saying? If you can see the wrong in this one, you can see the wrong in that one. That's crazy, but you got Liddell now. You know what I'm saying? You got Liddell. They got Liddell. What they think it wasn't going to be easy, it was going to be easy to get her out. Same thing with the mayor. And you done sit up there and told them, I voted for Weaver. Look at that. You voted for Weaver.
Yep.
And look how they acting.
They did me. Even Audrey Muhammad said, I support you, Liddell. I support you. And all of them said, anybody but Maurice. And that's fine. Jealousy is what it is. But it never stops me. It elevates me.
Right. But I remember Winters got on here. I mean, I remember not on here because we wasn't even recording at that time. But I remember she said, be careful what y'all wish for. Or was we just started recording? Because when they replaced Kate Fields, look what you got.
Correct.
Look who you got. You know what I'm saying? You really got some real jammed up stuff. I remember all hell Weaver caught. Now I ain't gonna lie, Weaver was catching hell.
Sure
now Weaver out, and some of them same people that was giving her hell, I can't believe she working with them. I'm being honest with you. I ain't gonna lie, I can't believe it. See, people they'll throw that away. That people forget they was trying to send that woman to jail. To jail.
Going to federal court every day.
To jail. People act like they forget that. But it's easy to throw that away because, like I say, yesterday's villains can become today's heroes.
Yes.
Yesterday's villains can become today's heroes. That's why I look at, man, I look at much of this stuff going on. It's unbelievable.
Knowledge is power, Mick.
Lydia, I will say this about getting Elamine now, and I said this plenty of times. You know, when you don't handle it in the beginning, what you think gonna go on? When nobody hollering about, I forgot the one councilman that one living in Flint. What was it? This was before you was on there. What's his name? He about his residence because he didn't rerun again. I think you came on after him. What's Josh Freeman when he on council?
Yes.
And they said he wasn't staying in Flint.
Yep, I think I did hear that.
So they been had these questions. They been had this thing about people who lived in Flint who didn't. That's why I say you don't see nothing going on because they been letting everybody else slide. So you know how that go. You didn't holler about them. Why you gonna holler about me? And that's where we at.
And you know what makes it hard to remove a Liddell? And as you can see, ain't no energy to remove all of the hell she done created in this community. Man, and I ain't never did nothing. I never missed a day, never missed a vote, and voted 98% maize, period. Man, even Monica Galloway and them, they used to tear my head off. But I say all that to say this, Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Once they drop that money and do a study analysis, which they did,
right,
of Alamine,
right,
they love that man.
Right.
You know why?
Mm-hmm.
He could take the money and do what? Cut the trees. He could shovel their snow.
Right.
He could top their houses.
Right.
He held that power.
Right.
Liddell Lewis. I have heard, I got brand new, look at all the new porches I got. Whole block of lights. We got smoke detectors. Why? Neely take that money and dump it in his support. But now May's ward, go look
Right.
at his ward. They dump couches, boats, and everything else and would do nothing. Because why? It's click based.
Right. Right.
So therefore, you're gonna have they done divided the community just as when Neely took the old House of Bring and Beverly Lewis and them at the Kennedy Center.
Right.
You got half Negroes against each other now. Because
Facts.
the ones that getting stuff done through Neely or Alameen, they
Right.
gonna vote Alameen. They
Right.
don't give it because why? It's benefiting them.
Right.
And they ain't gonna vote. Let's say even Rose will catch a hard time.
Right.
Beverly Biggs gonna catch a hard time.
Right.
Because why? You done divided, and Neely already know this. Now let me give you Beverly's plight. Since people want to know about politics, Beverly got a hell of a fight on her hand. Cause Dumas is all about counting. When I say count, I mean votes. They done divided the votes on her.
Right.
Dumas gonna take some of Beverly's votes. Now, can she win? Yes, she can, but with accurate knowledge. And it's gonna take more. John them could do what all of the signs. No, it's hand-to-hand contact. You're gonna have to re-educate these folks now. Look, I'm really the one who's gonna be here and get the job done.
Right.
Because signs don't vote. I'm just telling you frank and honest. Because that ambassador girl, I had a conversation with her. I'm not a Neely girl. Just at the credit union. I had a this week. Oh, no. And then I'm like everybody else. Well, Neely don't spend money unless you're in his camp.
Right.
If you ain't in his camp, he ain't spending money. He ain't propping you up for nothing.
Right.
And she propped up everywhere he stand. As the civil one and everybody else is misinformation
Right.
and all of this dysfunction.
Right.
But
Right. Maria Carter with the $10 super chat. She said, where are they going to get a grocery store in the Clio Road area? It's been years and those people are struggling to get healthy food. Yeah. Now, you right about Maria, we're going to get on that. Now, you right about that. You can already see how it's set up. That's why I was surprised with, don't get me wrong. I'm like I said, Linda Booth, that's Nicole, that's her family. But I don't understand, like, why would you want to be an ambassador? Like, why would you even play that game? Even with, I get it. I mean, I do get it, but it's like, that's what I mean, like, when they going along with the madness. They going along right with the madness. You can't say that you're doing the right thing. You going along right with it, knowing when he was on council, when Mayor Don Williamson tried to play that game, Neely was hollering about it.
Yep.
Hollering about it.
Yep.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, but I tell you one thing, it's gonna be interesting because the shrinkage of Flint now,
Right.
It's the move forward. And the only thing Neely and everybody else when they moving Flint forward, it was blight elimination and demos.
Right.
That means shrinking. And where do the residents live? If you got money. Because clearly you got to qualify to get in a one-bedroom, $1,000 apartment.
Right.
And have the funds.
But how did y'all use the medium of Genesee County compared to the ones living in Flint? That's that right there was like a gimmick.
To expedite the foreclosure of the North End.
Yeah.
And everywhere else.
Right.
Because everybody in Genesee County on fixed income. Most people.
Right.
Keep living, you're going to get there.
Right.
Ain't nobody going to laugh. They going to understand why I'm so animate about what I'm saying. Right. You won't laugh long.
Right.
I guarantee you won't laugh.
But it's sad that you have people who sitting up going along with it. Like, but I get it when you they get money in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can live with it. You know what I'm saying? They can live. It's like Liddell. You think she really cared? She showed the second ward time and time again. People talk about what the mayor done showed people. Look what Liddell done showed y'all time and time again. You know what Candace try to keep most of her. You know who Candace try to keep. Keeping them in happy is that 7th ward by the college. She not caring about that black side.
No, that's where the vote's at.
Yeah, because they get out and vote. You know what I'm saying? Most
count
of the
numbers, numbers.
Yeah, and that's why she like. But you know what? And that, like I said, they focus on their voting base. And I do agree with you that they didn't did a study. They focus on that. Why you think he doing what he, like you say, why you think he propping up the young lady that's finna run? He even though he know Linda Booth's not running, but they holding meetings. They got this going on. That is so much a slap in the face.
It's what you give them.
Right. And then that'll show, and that right there is showing the bias to to Sister Linda Booth. From this aspect, you doing this for the mayor, right? So when these complaints be coming in, and you on the Ethics and Accountability Board, now we see why ain't no work getting done.
That's right.
We see why ain't nobody being called down there. But one thing, when the president, because I watched him today, my brother William Harris, man, you better stop playing with people on Facebook. Because I'm listening, man. You got to do your research, brother. I saw him and the former president of the school board and had a little conversation. That's why I'm like, but this how the people is. You know what I'm saying? This how the people is. That's why, man, we got to get better people who really want to help the residents.
The
man.
number one thing, and like I said, I really don't have time to be messing with trying to run for no city council. And at this time, I ain't thinking about it.
Right.
Because for one, if Rose ain't doing it, I don't have time to back and forth with them folks. But I will say this. We got to really get somebody to understand. The main thing Neely's trick is, Alamines and they promise you the world, like, come up here for this homeowner-occupied rehab program.
Right.
The key is stipulations.
They forget to tell you that.
You got to remove stipulation. Ain't nobody going to qualify.
They forget that part.
So it's just a good narrative to fool you again. So, a lie don't care who tell it. And all they doing is lying. And now look how the people living over there.
Listen, man, my family member, Maurice, rode through there yesterday, and I'm talking about in the third ward. We went up Wesley Street. I was down Alexander, Marvin, Gillespie.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I grew up, my auntie stayed on Edwin Street. I grew up over
It's
there.
gone.
Man, I mean, when we rode down, I think it was Baby Mouse, 6 houses that's on the street, man. So many of the, you know what I'm saying, between Wesley and Detroit Street.
They're in dark street.
Showed is. So my cousin stayed
They're
right
shutting it down right now.
Man, I went over there and was like, damn, yesterday. Like, man, this is what they really think they done something over here?
They're shutting them down right now. Get out of here and get over into those affordable housing, which is apartments. We're in trouble.
I rode through, like I said, Winter's been rolled through the second ward part, but I rode through the old neighborhood, man. I was like, unbelievable when I seen this. Like, and they think, like I say, these council people really think they doing the work. And then that little patch of work that he did, the weather study tear it up.
Yes.
Putting that little patch of work that he doing is unbelievable, man. But I it's just sad to say Flint gonna be fixed up, but it won't be for the as they say, what's the ward that they say? Cause I was watching Gangs of New York, what they was calling them. Damn, I can't think of the name he was saying. But anyway, the originators, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The people that's been here, they gonna force them out.
Well, they out. The game done been played already.
Yeah.
They done counted the numbers. It's a business.
Yeah.
Like any other business out there, it's a business.
Right.
If you ain't savvy in business, you not it. You ain't know why that. If you was in your opinion, don't know nothing about business and strategy,
Right.
You done.
Right.
You done.
No, it's over, and it's sad to say it, but I look at the ones who still here, the ones who gonna be able to be here, you need to be able to keep them here. That's why I do agree with you. They should have been tried to grandfather them in, and people ain't even paying attention that the state now finna do the taxes. They coming for if you behind.
Yeah.
For him to even go with that, but people forgot when they sent the dude from the treasurer. Remember, was it last year or the year before he came to city council?
I think last year.
This wasn't the first time. You already seen that was coming. That play was coming. But this is what you get. This is what you get. It's kind of hard to put somebody in and get him out when he know all the tricks of the trade.
And another game they playing. I don't know if people understand or acknowledge it. Be careful. Don't buy no more lots. Don't buy no more land. They ain't finna develop over here. That's just a way of playing monopoly. Once you buy property from the county, which is land bank, you can't give it back. So what it does, it goes on to your actual real property taxes, and it expedites you out of here quicker. Because now you can never buy nothing else. It can mess you up, and sooner or later they're gonna put it on credit. Where if you go delinquent in taxes, it could hurt your credit. Be careful. Don't buy no more land. And then if you do, you got to combine them. You know, where you pay one street light. A street light assessment is $125 a pole. School taxes. Ain't no school to be found nowhere over there. But you paying them.
Unbelievable, ain't it?
I promise you, I'm telling you the truth.
Nah, I know. I see what Miss Hattie Burns said. She said, Maurice been saying this for years. He been trying to warn it, but then nobody want to listen because they
No,
did a hell of a job saying, "Oh, my reach for Trump." You see how you own to put that out
that's
there?
jealousy. And as they can
Unbelievable.
see, you ride by, my God is still God all by
Right.
himself.
But no, you know why? Because he gave them what they want. Y'all wanted Liddell.
Oh
You got him.
yes. Oh, yeah.
You
And
got her.
right now, do you hear me?
You
Oh,
got
please
her.
elect me. Is you
Yeah.
crazy?
No, you got her.
Is you
This is
crazy?
what y'all wanted. Y'all went and got people who didn't care. They didn't care, but you know what it was, and I got to give Winters this much credit. They didn't have nobody for when they was trying to get rid of you. That's how Liddell was easy to slide up in there. They didn't have nobody, and these people act like they was gonna run. They was against each other. Some of them was.
Only way you would run a good candidate against Maurice, they had to be. Write this down. Never even go with a dude that's less than you.
Facts.
I look. I learned a long time ago. It ain't. If I'm doing something, I ain't got to open my mouth and tell somebody. You're gonna be able to open your eyes and see. Somebody that's bragging what they doing, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't got nothing.
Right.
So therefore, who got more to lose over there in Civic Park than I do? And especially in a historic district where money coming.
Right.
And watch this, Mickey. I could take it today and prove a point, but it ain't in my heart to do it. They offer me not Phil Schultz, Uptown Investment, Maurice, $250,000 just to do the architecture rendering like Burston. But once I did it, Hattie, everything on the north end will be gone. Just like with Flynn and put that store. That store ain't never was to open. It was to tax them out of there because whenever you live in a neighborhood with a multi-million-dollar structure, your taxes goes up.
Right.
Just like in homes. They redeveloped homes because it's going to expedite all of them folks on fixed income up out of there. And that's why it's going to make sense at the end when all of them lose their house. That's why going in there is tarped up and coming out of homes with all that beautiful stuff. It's future land use.
Yeah.
And somebody also said like a Hasselbring. It's a voting polling place. They got them out of there.
Yeah, they
So
knew what they was
Alameda
doing.
wouldn't be affected.
But he won't even be in that ward next year.
Well, whoever Neely running, they
Yeah.
won't be affected. They'll control it.
You know, because with the redistricting, he'd be third ward in 26.
Whoever he gonna run,
Yeah.
it won't be affected because they're gonna control the polling places. He control Haskell, that's a polling place. Neely control Haskell, he control Hasselbring, and all of the rest of them he in control of. Think about that for a second. I'm telling you, it's politics is real, and you have to know what you're doing. And you got people way behind here; they're just there. And then you get the private phone call. This is the mayor I'm talking to, and you ain't never
Right.
talked to nobody like that. Man,
Right.
get off my damn phone.
Right, yeah, because you see people when the mayor call you, yeah, let alone not understanding how the people getting dead wrong. This would get me
I only got one God.
right. But you know, a lot of theirs is them dead presidents that come in greenback. Some take cash app payments. I'm just saying. When you see how the game is played, man, but you know who getting played? The people are.
Oh, they ain't got played.
Yeah, the people the ones getting played. They got us battling with each other. They did a hell of a job. I can say that. Got black vote split.
And they
Did that right off the jump. Split the black vote.
and then they got you so you don't listen to the truth when it's told.
Facts.
And that's the killer right there.
Right.
That's the nail in the coffin. When
Right.
somebody come with actual factual truth, Christ came and they believed him. The Bible said not.
Right. No,
And crucified him.
because if I say this right here, and the only thing I can go with this is on this. Okay, everybody is like, we going on. And what Neely do? We had 95%, which when we were left out, it was at 95%, right? But that was only 10%. That wasn't the whole infrastructure.
Wow.
People acted like it was the whole infrastructure was getting done. That was that little pipe that what they was fixing, but that wasn't the whole infrastructure.
That was a money grab.
But see, we say that though, it'll be problems. People will be, you can't say that. No,
That was a money grab.
Right.
Maurice said it.
Because you're looking at it right now. What you say? We didn't know no better. You just got on council. When we voted for the Gleewood deal, we didn't know. It was people pushing that deal.
That's right.
Yeah, it was, but they ain't gonna want to say who was pushing it. They're gonna be looking at, well, Maurice voted, but then when you go to saying who all voted for it,
when you sit in them
Right,
elected seats, you
right,
get threatened with
right,
penitentiary if somebody die on your
right.
watch.
And don't
Oh, they
nobody,
don't play with
yeah,
you.
don't nobody want to be tied up like that. But then, like you say, man, I was listening to Mays. Mays, he told us to do this and that. But if you, like I said, a lot of people want to do branch knowledge. They don't want to do root knowledge. It was plenty of people that was on that convinced y'all to go to take that deal with that. They forget AC Dumas was saying switch to the Flint water. They forget that. You know what I'm saying? They throw that all the way to the side, but they can't forget because you wanted to meet with Trump. Don't forget that you going to meet with Trump wasn't gonna hurt
It's
nobody.
jealousy.
Yeah, it was not gonna hurt
They
nobody.
attack me from every angle, and guess what? God is God all by himself. They need to that's why I'm here able to tell you flat truth still. Ain't flinched. Ain't blinked at it. Ain't trying to win nothing. God is God all by himself. Stand with him if you want to win. Because now Satan is running rampant. The day people in the dark and people about to lose their house at a late age.
Yeah, but right. And good morning, Rodney Tommy said good morning, Kane.
Hey.
Nah, but what it is, you gotta understand, man. Like we got these people getting in these seats that didn't know what they was doing.
That's correct.
They just got mad. Like you know what it was. We all know what it was. When you ain't doing what they want you to do, they gonna go and discredit you. But you got Liddell in to show you how crazy that worked. Got Liddell in. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't ready for this. That's why Neely won. But people just like I say, people want to keep playing games. Go get the truth, and then you can come back and we can talk.
People don't understand. You there to vote. Everything comes from the administration. I get it. That's what moves the city in a certain direction.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have a competent CFO in every department down there.
Right.
HR and all. They should be competent. Treasury
Right.
and all. But watch this. Only difference when I go to committee in governmental ops, which I done been chair of all them committees, we got to amend these doggone resolution and put, like I said, grandfather folks' taxes in.
Right.
At 65, no more taxes.
Right.
Grandfather, we can't do it at a city level. We got to go to state. Let's go to state. If we had to go to the feds, grandfather these taxes in. Because cost of living always, they did the study, increases. It never go down. Property taxes always increase, but your check don't. So you guaranteed. That's why every house you see blighted and abandoned, it's not people left it. They got foreclosed out of it. And it's coming. It's coming to a neighborhood near you shortly. And they got the water tied to your taxes. Game over. Checkmate. Checkmate.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that. That's why you got to watch who becoming. Man, that's what I'm saying. And I believe you back on there, Miss Beverly Biggs. Get on there in August, man. Get people on there that's really gonna help. We gotta we gotta change on how this council being ran.
And listen, whoever on here right now, the way council would go, so you would understand how it functions. You need 6 votes. Number one, the golden child in this city, in case y'all didn't know, is Rose Morrow. I'm gonna say that and say it. Miss Beverly Biggs, Rose Morrow, and if I was to help them, and not Candace, but Jerry and Tanya and them stay the course with Dennis and Jonathan and Jared and them stay the course.
Right.
Only thing we would do is we ain't the dysfunction to stop what the administration doing. You want to amend it to where it includes the poor folks and let it benefit us as well. Because whatever they want to do, they're going to do it anyway. But why not keep your house? Why not beautify your house and be able to live here? Because, see, manual labor ain't coming back. It's advanced labor now.
Right.
People somebody uneducated can't work at McDonald's now.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's going right back to the school system. This school system is terrible.
Yep. It's done. It's done. And the water hurt these kids, Mickey.
But they're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about that.
The water destroyed these kids.
Yeah, they're not going to talk about that. And
you don't see the Hellcats now at tax time. It's tax time. They done made it so you can't buy bubble gum.
It's just terrible. Like I say, this whole thing is so terrible Tia, you right. It do need 5 votes to pass a resolution, but 6 votes to veto the mayor.
That
But I watched these people pass a super majority 5, and you needed 6. See, you know what I'm saying? That's why I really with that. I don't know. I watched them go do that. Pass someone. You needed 6 votes, and they did it with 5. When Liddell say you round down. See, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard. And then when you see the people,
and that's why I get mad with. I can't get mad with Tanya and them because
right,
they
right,
knew.
right. No, this was
Jerry Whiffield must have been absent because anybody with common sense know ain't no such
the
life.
lawyer said they could do it. Kim didn't say it. The other one, the black fella, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, I watched them sit up there
Now
and
I'm
did
gonna be me.
this.
This is what Mays say. I appeal the ruling of the chair. I appeal the ruling of the chair because that's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. And then you will seek to go to Dana Nessel. If that didn't work, the Attorney General, we'll go up higher to the Michigan Supreme Court. I appeal the ruling of the chair. That's a lie. Because every governing body function the same. That's oh Lord, they don't know what to do, man. And it don't take argument. They
No,
don't know what to do.
no, it's just messed up about how all this would end. But see, what this come from when, and this what I mean. Like I said, with Linda Boost, fires them doing that. Same thing with the brother Leon. He got right up on there and went to playing right along with the Wilson name. And you know what he don't do no more? He don't get up there and say he don't call Rich name no more. He don't call he don't say nobody else name no more. When it's time to vote, you know what he say?
What?
Kerry Nelson. Because after he made that
Yeah,
little
he
mistake,
slipped. He
when
slipped.
when Dennis when Dennis tricked him, and that's what it is. He never, and that's what I'm saying. And the council is divided. You can't. It's 4 against 4. It just is what it is. If you think Flint is moving forward, and to me, Miss Beverly Biggs would be she is the best choice for that seat to get in there and change some things around. Because you listen, what you got now, and this is just being honest, and I'm not even gonna lie, seeing the way that you know what I'm saying with the young lady that he trying to put on there, and with Carrie Nelson, that'll keep Liddell and Candace and and Judy where they at.
They trying to vilify Beverly Biggs because
Yeah.
I noticed they had a form. They couldn't nobody make the one Miss Biggs had yesterday, I guess.
Well, you knew they
But
weren't.
they all done got in cahoots all of a sudden.
But
And, man, come on
but
now.
you know, let's be honest. You know, AC Dumas, all something came up. It ain't nothing came up. He know he catch hell from on this side over here. Let's be real. A lot of them that we don't deal with from that camp over there was not gonna show up if we was putting it on. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest with this thing is. You know. So I ain't gonna sit up there.
If I was running
Yeah.
and I didn't run, that's how Liddell got in there. That's another thing. Didn't
Right.
nobody beat me. I didn't run.
Right.
But I would say this to Miss Beverly Biggs. I don't know
Right.
if I will or not in 25, but I will say this.
Right.
All I have to do is talk to folks, and that's the end of that story. Miss Biggs need to go door to door, knock them doors, and explain to them folks.
Right.
And the public is already the best business card you can have as a person. She got the reputation.
Right.
She's excellent in the whole community.
Right, but you got somebody that's gonna really to help. What is it AC Dumas done did? AC Dumas ain't did nothing but let me tell you something. AC Dumas, and I'm gonna say this, and when I see AC sometimes he speak, he probably don't speak no more, but I don't care. AC Dumas be messy as hell. Let me tell you, he sat up there, caused that brother Clack nothing but problems on that school board. Now this is the stuff that I look at, but I understand.
Well, he was messy when what's the name was on there on council, Santino.
Yeah, AC is messy as
Messing
all
with
up
his
door.
job and everything.
Yeah, Eddie Jones, thanks for tapping. Oh, yes, AC do all that. AC went down there saying about the black contractors. Well, not even a black contractor. He was down there representing. See the games that AC Dumas play? This the same man that took $125 from Ashley Capital for a show. Not no $500, $125. He thought he really did something. Like he was telling me, oh, Mick, I'll get him on the back end. You know, they come back. This is the type of person y'all gonna want to put in the seat. He already showed you he did a deal on that end. What you gonna think if in that council seat with AC Dumas to do?
Wow.
What you think he gonna do? AC Dumas play so many games, but yet this a deacon. Don't get me wrong, the brother is articulate. He know things when he get up there, he can say it, but he still play the game. Even the devil knew the Bible.
You can know all you want, but either
Right.
you're a people person or you're not.
Right.
his spirit ain't like Miss
Right.
Beverly Biggs.
Right.
She's a natural born motherly people person. She got it naturally, and that's what she actually represent the people she would be representing.
Right. This dude, he set up. Hey, she don't. My bad. Hey, she so crooked, man. In the game that he played, that whole little side over there, man. They play games amongst each other. It's terrible.
First of all, do he live where he say he live?
Well, I thought he was in the seventh ward. That's what I thought.
That's exactly right.
But.
But that's another discussion. But
Right.
I'm the wrong one to play with because I'm gonna just tell you the truth of God love. And if you lie on one thing, you lie on another.
Right. And not just show you how it is. If you see Neely then threw people in, you see he got his one person running. But if you throw in the other characters, but AC supposed to been like, you know what, I'm not gonna get in this. But you know why? Cause it's selfish reasons. Like most people, it's selfish reasons. I done seen people run just to take other people's votes away from them because they'd get mad. I done seen this. I seen it when they did it with you.
Yep.
I seen this. And then they don't go get behind the person that they was saying they was gonna go get behind.
Hold grudges.
Yeah, they be, man, listen, this little good morning, Rose Morrow. I'm saying a man that could have went, you didn't go get 2 or 3,000. You didn't even say this for Ashley Capital. Look, you want to come in? But these are the type of people that I'm saying. The difference with me is I'd have did this. Ashley Capital come in. Well, we want to do this since they was giving money out. Well, won't you go ahead and advertise, at least put 20,000 between the podcasters here. You know what I'm saying? Get your mess. Won't you put 20,000 out here? Get this one 3, get this one 4. Okay, maybe I would have got the 10 from my side.
Right.
Split the other 10 amongst 3 or 4 other shows. But I'm just saying, he didn't even do that. He came out $125. You see how he underbidded himself?
Yeah.
So you already underbidding the market. Like, he didn't come in to do this, get them to build him a studio, to help. Terrible.
You don't run for elected seat for income. If you're doing that, you dead in the water before you even get out the gate.
That's
you
what
done. Because you're moving millions of dollars every other week. Every couple of weeks, millions of dollars. So I can't be in there for that little old part-time, $300-400 every 2 weeks, or $700 every 2 weeks, whatever that chump change is.
Yeah.
No, it don't work.
And I hope at that forum they hold his ass to the fire and ask him, you know what I'm saying? What about that? Can you be trusted? What about them black contractors you was trying to get that wasn't black? Like, you know what I'm saying? Ask them real questions. You know what I'm saying? Don't sugarcoat them. Sit down and ask him these games that he played. And why was you know what I'm saying, getting mad if you can't have your way? This who you want on council? Because as soon as he can't get his way, he'll get mad. Mama says, daddy said, like all that. I mean, don't get me wrong. He articulate, but the games, do you want that type of rascal working for you?
My crowd I represent is not articulate. They poor.
Right.
And I ain't trying to grandstand with a title as a doctor. Because if it was, I'll be the king.
Facts.
She called me the king. And ain't nobody known over the country more than this city, I don't think, than I am.
Right.
But see, my residence is struggling. I'm here to help.
Right.
You at home. And then that make you feel good inside.
Facts.
The best feeling you ever gonna have when you give to somebody else.
Right.
Period.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's just frustrating to me.
No, I know it is, because it's crazy when the people that they putting up here, man, y'all not finna put like that. That's what I'm saying. That AC Dumas is a character and a half. But it should show y'all what y'all need to know. He couldn't even beat Quincy. Couldn't even beat Quincy all the games that he plays. But don't get me wrong, I did agree with Mays when that dark literature came in. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Yeah, but that should tell you something. Much as AC ran these streets right here, he didn't make no friends with people who run in Flint.
But see, AC ain't the question. It's that new ambassador that created position that Neely done grabbed onto.
That's the point. Yeah. So they putting the money behind her.
Because see, they going toe to toe with Miss Biggs.
Right.
They got to eliminate.
Right.
And they rather go in against AC in the ambassador.
Right.
See, you got to remember, this is only the primary.
Right.
They don't want to go in against Miss Bev and then the ambassador.
Right.
Which would be still a fight for Miss Bev.
Right.
Because it's always incumbent is always harder.
Right.
That's why I didn't run. That's why I didn't. Man, there ain't nothing to get out of there. But it took all of the whole city to backdoor me with that Trump lie.
Right.
But I'm hoping Miss Beverly Biggs, which I believe she will, she gonna be the primary. Because what I hate is how Dumas got to tell a lie for them to vote for him. The one he lying on is not the ambassador. It's gonna be Miss Biggs.
Oh, you know who he going? You already see the stuff that's going
Yeah.
on. You
Yeah.
see the
He
games
gonna
that's
discredit
already.
Miss Biggs.
Yeah, you already see the discredit of Miss Biggs already being twirled around here. You see it. You can see it. That's what I'm saying. You have to watch that crew AC Dumas done with. Don't get it twisted. And I tell people they want AC Dumas in that seat. That crew over there. Don't get it twisted.
Miss Biggs is up there with Rose and them at the house. Miss Biggs is in the community.
Right.
Doing stuff.
Right.
Now AC might be up there playing dominoes or whatever he do,
Being nosy.
but he's not there doing the work.
Right.
The
Right.
sacrificial lamb in this community is Rose Mara. I'll tell anybody.
And you see how Rose got did. You see how Rose
She don't get treated like nothing compared to what she should be.
And what she doing the work. But you know, you gotta look at it, man. Look, it was so much scandal. When I tell you it was so much scandal, it was so much scandal, man. When it was y'all finna see it. Y'all seeing it right now. Y'all seeing tape gate, things being leaked out here that shouldn't be leaked out here.
Oh, lies gonna come.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, I've been watching so much. We got tape gate now. Stuff got leaked out here. People don't want to own up. They leaked it out. Then we wondering how information getting to people from out of town who not in Flint can get information. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. 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 It was really, I'm going to be honest with y'all, and people don't want to believe this. Rose was getting attacked probably from both sides, allegedly. Because who you out here see still doing the work out the first ward that didn't get elected?
Right. She working harder than any elected council person.
That's what I'm saying.
She's still trying to get people roof, windows, doors of all wards. She don't care. That's just her.
Right.
6th ward, she work.
Right. And they love her over there in the 6th ward.
2nd ward, she helping with what the lady heart is real. And I'm gonna just tell her.
And listen, man. I was hearing this last year, man. And I'm not gonna say I remember people was trying to connect Rose, Neely. This was last year. This was last year during election time. But you know, I ain't gonna call out the name on them, but they was trying to connect Rose to Neely last year and everything during the election. This how you knew this stuff is crazy.
Anything to blaspheme.
Yeah, I ain't never seen so much the downplaying and trying to dirty a person up. But how they do it, like I said, I was told from my old man, these people like to throw rocks and hide their hand.
I wish Rose, she gonna better her career, but if she decided to run, I give it all I got. I'll start knocking doors today. But see, you would have to have soldiers.
Right.
Because this is not a place. This train that left the station. People now losing everything. And we ain't in position to win.
No.
Our demise have been planned.
They say the die has been cast.
It's there.
And but what they do, they're constantly, why you think they keep so much confusion going on? The whole thing should have been like they didn't know how to do it. I told you, even when Miss Jan Marie, and I hate bringing her name up, but even nice as she is, intelligent she was, she even got caught up in the mess, and it cost her the election.
Of course.
She got caught up in the rhetoric.
I wish, I can tell you now, I can't cuss, so I got to think of another word, but I wish they would call me for anything other than somebody needs some help as a resident anywhere in the city of Flint.
Right.
Don't call me with that mess.
Because that's all
my phone.
That's all it is.
They gonna call you and they gonna woo you in. Once you give them 30 seconds, they got you. That's when they go to laugh at you.
Right. Because you can see the game that they playing right now. I'm knowing why them men. I know they don't really want Miss Biggs in there because she is independent from them. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get connected to both of them sides, if you team Neely or this team over here.
I'm team people in the hell.
And that's how you're supposed to be, an independent thinker.
I'm team people in the hell with.
Right, and it's not crazy. That's like a job. You gonna work at jobs that people you don't like, but what you don't supposed to do is let your personal side. See, we even let the personal side get into the podcasting because people come playing games. It's like everything always get personal. Oh, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna go attack this person. I'm gonna go do this. It ain't about putting no healing together, man. It's people trying to get in for they can get their money. That's all you see right now. Why you think the fight's so hard? Why you think AC Dumas up in there? They want AC Dumas up in there.
I tell you what, a lot of people on this podcast now, some of them holding on by a thread. A thread.
Facts.
A thin thread,
Facts.
not a thick coat
Facts.
thread.
Facts.
A thin thread, barely holding on. One little slip, but you can sound so mighty. But if truth be told, if we don't hurry up and do what we know that's right and get beyond your own feelings and jealousies, because our black people's curse is jealousy.
It is. That's what we are.
Whether it's podcasts, I don't care what, it's a curse of jealousy.
It showed is. Showed is get down right to my woman look better than yours.
You got to break that curse of jealousy.
And that's what it's that Willie Lynch. It's that Willie Lynch letter.
And ain't nobody going to admit it because of pride.
No, they not going to sit up there and admit it. You see it right now, it'd be jealousy.
A thread. The messiest folks with a thread.
Yeah, listen, you see nothing but confusion. That's why I'm telling you, when you see these leaked videos and this then leaked out this kind of way, and don't none want to take accountability, just a lie. It's like I say, I get it. I get it, believe me, I get it. I get it. But when you got to lie to win, you already done lost.
Well, one of my new best friend is Rose Morrow. It ain't no secret. I tell anybody.
Right.
Beverly and everybody know that. People dying and gonna die.
Right.
People sick. Their health is compromised. And more turmoil is on the way. This weather is man-made weather. We don't know what this evening gonna bring. But yet I can tell you like this. God always have a ram in the bush. And people always reject that ram.
Well, they say the race ain't for the swift. It's for the one that can endure.
God always answer prayer. But it may not be the answer you're looking for.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Mickey, we in bad
shape. You can see how it is.
We're in bad shape.
You can see how it is. It's terrible out here. That's like we got to have a cancer cluster study. That's what I thought. Like I said, I done lost 2 uncles from cancer. Like I said, they went from stage 1 to stage 4 in like 45 days. If it was that.
Wow.
Aggressive.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Not 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? And let's go with the other people who done died from cancer. That's what's crazy to me, that you don't see nobody saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? But what we need to study. No, we don't need to study. We need help. But this is the game that they play. Because what is a study going to do? You know, people going to get paid to see how people suffering and how they dying. Because that's what a study mean to me.
Wow.
You're going to come in and get people tested, and you're going to try these new drugs, these new things they want. You know what I'm saying? Is this going to help? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy. Did nobody get arrested? Nobody.
Well, we got left behind. Flint moved forward without us.
But that was going to happen anyway. I think didn't nobody really understand. I think the ones who knew, like you was on here preaching. You was on your show every Saturday trying to tell the people. Sometime you did twice. You would come doing the midweek.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Before Saturday. You know what I'm saying? You was coming out here trying to tell people. You know what I'm saying? But don't nobody really understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's like, but just, if you could just go look in the Bible when they say, how was Noah going down there when it's finna to go destroy Sodom and Gomorrah? You know what I'm saying? Right. People be partying. Even you look through history, people just they don't see when the end is here.
And God put that unction in you to tell people, and that's what it's just. I just can't let it go, because I actually know this train it's a car going 100 miles an hour running from police, and kids out in the middle of the street playing. I'm finna snatch your kid out the street, and you could talk about it later.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing, because I know tears finna flow.
Yeah.
Tears gonna flow.
No, it's sad.
No, they gonna flow.
Yeah, it's sad. I hate that with what we going through here, because everybody gonna be affected by it. Listen, I sit up in here once to talk about it like, Mickey, it's not affordable, you know what I'm saying, affordable living here.
But watch this, Mickey. I'm gonna tell you something that's sad. On levels sad. It's so deep. but it's sad as hell. You got ABC, you got NBC, CBS, CNN, and all this other garbage.
Right.
Y'all podcast just getting off the ground this year, last year, to a level of being nationally recognized. Watch this. Tell more truth than any of them put together. But guess what? They'll come against you to just shut it down. Because they don't want no, you can't say freedom of speech no more.
No, you can't.
You're limited of what you really want to say, so I have to choose my words wisely. Just pause to make sure I use the correct verbiage to make sure I tell it like it should be. But you can't say truth quiet to poor folks.
Right. No, you can't.
You can't go, it's almost communist. It's scary.
Right.
You can't tell the truth how you feel about the COVID shot. You can't tell the truth about our ex-kids. You can't tell a lot of the water crisis.
Right.
I'm from government, but they zip you up when you go in executive sessions.
Yeah, ain't that terrible? You can't. They don't want you speaking.
And I know the truth.
And that's terrible.
And I'm telling you, I go right up close as I can without purging myself to tell the public. And yeah, but my opinion. Have a great day. Because you're going to wish you had to listen. Because it's so frustrating.
Right.
And now I'm looking, like you say, your cousin. James Smith, the one that died this week, never smoked, never drank, never did nothing.
Right.
Never. And he died the same way with different issues.
Right.
And everybody dropping dead, even healthy so-called people.
Right. Have you seen all these dialysis places around Flint? Did you see this coming up, all these dialysis places?
Yeah. I'll tell you like this, Beverly worked at Township Police. She said within the last month, a lot of, it ain't homicides. They just go in people's houses and they just deceased. People laying there dead. Just dead in the bed. Just dead. Because they ain't homicide, so they ain't going to make no kind of news media.
Unbelievable.
Something is going on.
Unbelievable. But but that's the thing. And I don't see how these people be running to Channel 12 in mid-Michigan. I'm talking about the council people, even to get them to even get them interviews, man. How they misinterpret the truth. And I'm not knocking the people that's down there at council because that's their job. Y'all doing what y'all can do. But what I'm saying is, I feel like it should be more independent news outlets. But you know why they ain't want to come down there? Because they seeing how we getting treated, get pushed to the back. You know what I'm saying? If you're not cool with this people, you're not gonna get an interview. I bet they didn't
come and cover Miss Big deal last night for him.
I don't know why. I was there.
Right.
I didn't understand it, but and this was crazy. But I know why they didn't do it, Marvin. I'm telling you. I know why they didn't do it. But you know, these same people will want her at their events when they throwing them.
They'll cover that.
Yeah. This just show you how crazy that is.
At the ambassadors forum where the ambassador gonna be.
Channel 2 gonna be packed with media.
That's the game. And that's what you try to hit people to. It's all propaganda and a game.
Yeah.
Expose the game.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough. Like I said, you can see the race, like you say, Miss Biggs fighting a hell of a battle. She
got one.
She fighting two camps. AC them camp and Neely them camp over there.
When I did Jackie Popular, all I had was a flyer and I knocked them doors and I don't play. Either you want to stay in your house, I'm here because they're going to raise your property tax and all. And make sure you pay your water bill. Don't worry about paying for water you don't drink. You better pay that water bill.
Right.
Or is your house gone?
No, all you got to do is go back. Listen, I pray and I believe she going to get that seat and you're going to see people going to be running up there. I was always for Miss Diggs. I'm just telling you. But it's a hell of a battle right now. And I just think they showed their hand too quick.
What's going to make me mad is the way Neely going to spend that money on the negative campaign. Mr. Not being dysfunctional. When you bring all of the stuff that's been happening at council and put it over media.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know that's coming after this. After May. After the primary.
That's correct.
Oh, from May, June, July, all the way. It's going to be nothing but slander coming from the news outlets. Yesterday about something in that little dome about something. They're always standing there. Yeah.
I ain't got nothing against that lady. But right is right, wrong is wrong.
I mean, if you're going to run, you should have ran on your own and not saying you this ambassador because you know that's illegal. It's nowhere in the charter to say.
And not only that, if she under Neely, she ain't got a word to say, period.
Right.
Been there. Done that. You do what he say do.
Right.
or nothing at all if we get somebody else.
Right.
That's how
Right.
Ed Taylor and all of them got good. They good people.
Right.
Clyde is just wow. He one of the best.
I could believe that.
But Devine and all of them,
I
they
could
get
believe that too.
gorgeous people. I ain't got no ill against them. But if they don't do what they say, they out of their job.
Facts.
They out of their job.
Facts.
And I'll say it on record. And that's Maurice D. Davis that said this. They good people, but you do what he say do. But he just callous toward the poor. I wouldn't have nothing against Neely. Please, people losing everything. People need help. They sleep in the dark now going on 4 days, 90 hours,
Unbelievable.
5 days, no help,
Unbelievable.
no media coverage. Why? They poor, but downtown is lit.
Oh, you got to keep downtown open.
Mickey, what they doing? They maintaining for the new. The reason I say for the new land use, watch this.
Right.
The houses they working on, and then I'm gonna shut up with consumers. Is the houses that's already lit on their poles. The trucks, big trucks, is in back of houses like on Holmes Street. It's all lit up over there.
Wow.
But they say they have to cut them off for a minute to do maintenance upgrades.
Wow.
But the people on, like you said, on the Wise or whatever them streets down in there, off of Saginaw, they in the dark.
Wow.
All I can do is tell you what God loves, and that's the truth.
Wow.
They're off of Clio and all that.
it's just when you get it, and that's what I'm saying. You can't get these people to go along. But like I said, when Winters said, like Winters called two of them. When she called who Candace was, when she called out, said Candace was going to be elected to that 7th ward seat. Like I said, Dennis probably had nightmares about that. Leon was going to be elected to that 1st ward seat. You can already see how it was, how this thing was set up. And you see when they got in. But see what it was, Leon was the only one running for that 1st ward seat. But you couldn't get, really. But like I said, y'all know who the other faction is. That's why you see AC Dumas in this race still. That's why you see AC Dumas in this race.
Well, truth be told, Mickey, Miss Rose owned the 1st ward seat now.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
If she was to run, she owned that seat now.
Right.
Because it backfired on Neely to expel the seniors out of Hasselbring over to the Kennedy Center. Miss Rose owned that seat.
Oh yeah, because she doing
of the
work.
whole city.
Right. But she doing the work. And that's what people see. People got caught because it was really that faction, man. And I'm not knocking nobody, but when you got that faction from over there, it seemed like every time they put their hands in something, man, they just destroy it. They just destroy it. And I do believe that's what destroyed and she only lost by a little. Miss Jan Marie Arbor. I believe Jan Marie could have did good, but sometimes the company that you keep.
And then I don't know her, but she got to be able to compromise. Because people on this north end need different things than the people over there in the 7th ward, in the cultural center.
Right.
But as long as she got compassion, say, look, we're going to help you out with the roof, and we'll help you with removing stipulations so you qualify for home repair. And other programs that help the kids and stuff. But
yeah,
you just got to have common sense, I guess.
Man, you know what? I'll say this, Mark Hutchins. I think, but it nearly no different than the other side. They pick people who they can control. Don't get it twisted. When they want people on there, who they can control. Because you can see it right now playing out. You know what I'm saying? I think, the ones who free independent thinkers like the brother that's across from me, that's how they be out their seat.
Well, they pick people that need the job. It's an income.
Right.
They look at, I get this, I got a job, I got hired.
Right.
So,
but they don't want no rep. I heard when they was trying to pick for that 1st ward seat, it wasn't just Quincy said he wasn't finna pick no rebel. Liddell said it, Judy said it, and Candace said it. And was Eva on that was Eva still there? Because I think she was the vote to help Leon get on there. These people, when they wanted to keep the get along. Liddell was her 5th vote for her Cyrus Park to get her money. I thought that was a conflict of interest. How can you vote on your own stuff?
You ain't supposed to. You ain't supposed to vote for your own.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it went through. Okay, see, my 740 and came on, and T said, "No, Jan Marie lost because majority of the votes come from the culture neighborhood. We have to get the people out to vote," which don't make no sense. That the Valley, the States, and Stewart Hood, that's over there.
Mm-hmm.
They that was
Brennan
that
Center.
yeah, Brennan, that was supposed to be controlling the separate for not and not over there by Mott College, but what you get people who feel they have arrived.
That's correct.
That's the bougie cliques.
That's correct.
That's what's really been hurting Flint is the bougie people. They
Period.
really been hurting Flint. That's what's really hurting Flint right now. Good morning, Christy Coleman. Is that as they call the ones who have it? Them right there is really what's hurting Flint because they not paying attention. They voting for their own demise, for the people they putting in them seats.
Wow.
Cause how you gonna forget the ones on the other side of the 7-4?
Wow.
You know, it is what it is, but we gotta, come. Listen, y'all better vote Miss Beverly Biggs in, Levy third warders, because what y'all gonna do is gonna play that game. Lord knows, Flint already been up in enough trouble. But don't vote for nobody who gonna go bring somebody in for $125. That's not a negotiator. That's straight up. I wouldn't want him negotiating for me. $125 to do a radio show for 30 minutes. That's what you was worth.
Yep. It's all about money.
Do you want somebody lying to you, telling you, hey, we voting for the black contractors, and it ain't no black contractors? That's why it'd be hard for me to do what's the name with him. The hell he gave, but I understand Clark is a professional. But that minute AC, if it was me being finna host that, oh no, we bringing that up. Do you lie? That should have been the question. Where are the black contractors, AC, that you was looking for, that you was fighting for? You the president of the NAACP with all the killing. I mean, vice president. Let me get that right. You the vice president, AC. Where you in this fight at, AC?
Black folks ain't got enough equipment to do major project. You know, Joe Kingdom got it somewhere I don't know nothing about.
But yeah, but he on the ENA board. This what I'm saying. These people that's on the ENA board is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
They folded under pressure, Mickey. They folded. They can't handle the pressure.
Mm.
Yep, they folded.
I would. That's what, to me. I would get rid of the ENA board. It's just a meet and greet to me.
They don't want an independent ombudsman. They don't want none of that. None of that. Neely is a sole dictator of this whole city right now. Police department, front door to the back. And I told him to his face. And that's my issue.
Right.
Yes, he doing good. Everything is fantastic. But the residents, the poor folks ain't. It's sad.
Terrible. And that's what I'm saying. But don't nobody see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does the help supposed to come from? Like you said, he told you it wasn't his fault. They need to pay their bill. You want people to pay for water they can't even use. How crazy is that?
Well, not only that, he know they on fixed income. And they already, how in the world you lose a house that's paid for? When you bought the house, you had to pay the taxes plus the mortgage. But now it's got so tight on you, you can't even afford the taxes without a mortgage.
Ain't that cold blood?
I mean, if truth be told, we're in bad shape. That's why they say Flint is impoverished. They already did the studies.
Yeah.
They study your demise, and I'm studying, screaming at the top of my lungs, hey, y'all, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
At the end.
Every problem got a solution. God will make a way out of no way if you got sense enough to listen.
Right. But how can we get them to listen to their constituents? Like listen to the. This what threw me off. When they come and ask, even with the mayor, but tell me what y'all want us to spend this money at. Then you spend it a whole total opposite way. Why ask me if you're not going? Why even have the people come down there asking for their input when you spend it a whole nother way?
All they want you to do is agree to release the money, and then they reallocate the funding. Never ever do it. I ain't heard a resolution in years where it benefit the regular people. I haven't heard it. It always be the non-profits that you gonna give them a job and give them an income. They help themselves. Because you can believe all of them write them administrative fees inside their non-profit.
Oh, this gonna be the last question. I'm gonna let you go and close this out.
Okay.
So, cause they said, so what do you think the solution to get the residents that are not engaged to be engaged?
It's only one way, Tia. It's only one way. It's only one way, and I learned this years ago. It's called hand-to-hand contact. All the other stuff is dead in the water. Most people, elderly people, which does vote, by the way, they don't have the time to sit and listen to podcasts and all this stuff. It's knocking at their doors and educate them about the real losses they finna face, although they already frustrated. And you have to spell out a whole team of people to them that's finna change this thing and guarantee them, we're going to help you keep your house. We're going to help you keep your pension check going. Without that narrative, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I'll throw you off my porch. And that's how people, they frustrated because their health is compromised. They don't have nothing. All of the blight around them, and they just waiting on their house to be condemned and foreclosed. You have to have a narrative, a team. Rosemary is a team player. Biggs is a damn your money. Whoever got money, throw that in the garbage. That don't win me. To win me, you're gonna have to convince me. People been hurt. That's like somebody hurt you and you hungry. Oh, I'm gonna feed you. You go to church, the Bible say, how dare you to send somebody away hungry? No, we here to help you, man. That's the only way. There is no other way. Hand-to-hand contact. Tia, that's an excellent question.
Facts. All right, beautiful people. We at the 11 o'clock hour, 11:01. You know when the King come on, he going to always be a treat and a treasure for the city of Flint. But tune in tomorrow. And you ain't coming on this Saturday, is you, Mr. Davis?
No, man. I mean, I'm so used to talking to winters. Yeah. No, sir.
No problems. I messed up, too.
Yeah, I'm so used to winters.
Well, we'll see y'all tomorrow, bumping in the morning. And Winter's been fired today. I had to let her go because she late. I'm just firing her for the week. Peace out, fam.